Well, hey there. This is Monday, September 17th, and our homework is really fun for tonight. This is What Do You Remember? So you're actually bringing to class tomorrow types of strategies you remember from fourth and third on multiplications. And so bring two types of strategies um, for each of the problems. Show me what you know, and then I'll pick out some students to show the students what you brought to the table. So I'm going to title this "What I Know" or "What Do I Remember." So whichever one you had. It's what do you remember? ... Hope you all had a great evening. I just got back to campus and I'm ready to rock and roll with you guys. Okay, so you were given 5 multiplication problems and you're already knowing the 2-digit by 1-digit and 2-digit by 2-digit. 2-digit. So I'm going to take a look at types of strategies. So the first problem that we had tonight that I gave you was 23 times 15. Those are the two factors I gave you. One of these strategies is called array strategy, not an array, an area. Boy, it has just been that kind of a running around day. It's an area. So we're going to show the area model strategy. Thank you very much for bearing with me. Area model. So area model is just going to be just like geometry, right? So y'all do, I don't know, some of you call it a magic box, but I really want you to use the terminology area model because it's everything in the middle. You're going to need to know that when we get into geometry anyway, so start using that terminology. Okay, so if I build my two-dimensional rectangle or quadrilateral, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'll divide it up here because this would be my tens and this is my ones. And I'm also going to draw my line this way because, again, this will be my tens and this will be my ones. So I can kind of draw that. So area is everything how much this is. So I'm going to take my first number, and I know that to break the redistribute those properties, I'm going to 23 would be the same as 20 plus 3. And so I'm going to put my tens here. That's 20 plus 3. And here my 15 is going to be the same as 10 plus 5. And here I have my 10 and my 5. All right, so some of you, if you still get confused, that doesn't even look like a 2. Sorry about that. So some of you are still getting confused. Hey, one of the things that I found that students were using, if you do the 10 times 20, 10 times 3. So if you look at here, the number on the top are the ones that are going down. The numbers to the side are going across. Now my next one is 5 times 20 and 5 times 3. And now I can multiply those out and then I'll add them together. So I know that 2 times 1 is 2, and I have 2 zeros that I'm going to add to the back of it. And that's 200. Because I'm moving my, I'm placing my zeros there. 10 times 3. 1 times 3 is 3. I have only 1 0, so it's going to be a 3 on the back. 5 times 2 is 10. I have 1 0, so I'll add that to that one. So it's 100. And I know that there's 5 groups of 20 that equal 10 at 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So you see how that works. 5 times 3 is 15. Now I'm going to add those up. And usually for me, adding it up and down is easiest. Some may find adding it across is also good, so you can do it this way. 200 plus 30 equals 230. 100 plus 15 equals 115. So you can do it that way. Add up that total amount. 0 plus 5 equals 5. 3 plus 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So you can do it that way, or again, you can just do it up and down. 200 plus 100 equals 300. And I have 30 plus 15 is equal to 45. And if did y'all catch that? I heard people shouting out, wait a minute. So great catch. Okay, so 3 plus 1 is not 1, but 3 plus 1 is 4. And so do you see how if you can just switch it the other way? You can do it checks and balance. And I know that 30 plus 45 is 345. So I was able to add it in both directions, and that really was a good checkpoint for myself. All right. Another way of solving a problem, excuse me, I'm going to go to number 2, and let's show a different way. Excuse me, I have 14 times 12. Okay, so I'm going to stretch out or redistribute. I know that 14 is the same as 10 plus 4, and I know that 12 is the same as 10 plus 2. Okay? And so because I know this, now I can just multiply out. I know here I'm going to have a 2 times 4, 2 times 10. So I'm just moving it out. It's almost like I hear somebody shouting out, hey, that's like the bow tie. Yep, something like that. So absolutely right. And then now I'm done with my 2s, and now I'm going to go to my 10s. 10 times 4 and 10 times 10. Now I'm going to multiply those out and add them up. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 10 is 20. 10 times 4 is 40. And 10 times 10 is 100. Now, if you notice, those of you that are still getting confused, looking at the number of zeros you see. Okay? Now I can add it up. So I can add it like this, but for me sometimes, you know, you've ever had those off days and it gets confusing. What I'd like for you to do is just to go ahead and take the time and start off from from the greatest number and then to the least number or the smallest number. So I have 100, I have 40, I have 20, and I have 8. All I did was just work backwards. Okay? Now I'm going to add those up. Needed to line up my place values. Some of you, when you're adding up numbers like this is where you get confused. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 4 plus 2, well, that's 6. And I have my 1. So my answer is 168. Okay? All right. That's another way. And I'm sure you guys are going to come up with several different ways to work out the problem. And the next one is, let's go to the third problem. Okay. 36 times 8. And as a matter of fact, let me do it on the other side because I like working my numbers down. So as we're working, it makes it easier, especially with algebra. So I'm going to rewrite that, and it's 36 times 8. Now look at what I'm going to do. This is the ones place, and so my first digit that I put here is the ones. And there's nothing in my tens. So my second line would be tens, but I have no tens. So here I have, this is going to be 8 times 6. So I have 8 times 6, and this is 8 times, now look at this. What place value is that 3 in? Okay, I hear you shouting out loud, and yep, it's 30. So now I have 8 times 30. Okay, so let me multiply that out. Normally I wouldn't have this here. I'd probably have it spaced out. But I know that 6 times 8 is 48. And 8 times 30, well, look at this. I know that 8 times 3 is 24. And I have my 1 0 that goes right here. Now I can add those up. So again, I'm going to put 240 plus 48. I could add straight down like this. That's not a problem. Or you can do it like this. If you're still struggling with addition, my suggestion is to strongly do it this way, where you have the largest to the smallest, so the greatest to the least. But if you're comfortable with here, make sure you keep your place values in line. So I have my 1s, I have my 10s. 40 plus 40 is 80. So it's 4 plus 4 is 8, and it would have been the 80 here, and then bringing out my 2. Okay, so here it will work the same. 8 plus 0 is 8, 4 plus 4 is 8, and bring down my 2, and my answer is 288. Okay, then the last one, this is another one, and of course I'm looking forward to see what you have to bring in. 15 times 10. Now for me, I know that anything multiplied by 0 equals zeros. So when I'm multiplying numbers by 0, I'll put those at the bottom part, and then this is what I do to make it easier. I move those over. So I'm going to move my 1 here and my 0 out here. What I will do is automatically bring down that 0, and I'm done, because that would be in my 1's place, and I'll show you in just a second. And now I can multiply 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 1 is 1. Now take a look at the same thing. Again, remember, there's 2 place values here, so you're going to have 2 place values here. This is your 1's, and this is your 10's. So let's look at my 1's. Remember I said that anything multiplied by 0 is 0? 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. And so is my 1 straight across 0? Well, I just did it this way to represent that. Now my 10's, I'm done here. I'm putting a 0 here to hold that space. So 0 is my hero. I'm going to hold that spot there, because look at my 10's. I have to line them right up. It's going to be in my 10's place. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. And now I can add that up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. And 1 plus nothing is 1. Did I get the same answer? Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be practicing on different strategies this week. I really strongly suggest that, again, if you haven't learned your multiplications by now, this is the time to get those flashcards, get those cards going, and start doing it. So it'll be a great after dinner workout for 10 minutes, making all sorts of activities with numbers. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Come by and let me know that you saw this video. All right, we'll talk to you later. And leave a message behind. All right, have a great night. Bye.